welcome into another edition of the 2024 MLB Draft Spotlight Show. And for my money, it is December 28th when we're recording this, but maybe my favorite player in the 2024 class, Slade Caldwell, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Valley View High School. Slade, you play with your hair on fire, man, and I absolutely love watching you ball. I want to give you the chance to introduce yourself to viewers, to listeners. Who is Slade Caldwell on the field? Who is Slade Caldwell off the field?
Yeah, I'm Slade Caldwell. I'm from Jonesboro, Arkansas, born and raised. If you see me on the baseball field, you definitely notice me. I'm everywhere at once. I like to think I hustle so much, and just really have the passion about the game.
How about off the field, man? Passions, hobbies. Like, what do you do when you're not playing ball?
Yeah, definitely hanging out with the boys, playing Fortnite or just video games, or going watching movies, or going to work out, or cooking a little bit, trying to get there.
What are you cooking? All right, that's that. I've done 230 of these. I don't think I've ever come across a kid that is into cooking at this stage. What's your thing, man?
I like to cook pasta. Yeah, I like
Okay,
to cook pasta or like steaks or hamburgers or pork chops, spaghetti, stuff like that.
the bare essentials. I dig it. Um, Slade, let's start with this past summer, right? You had a crazy summer. I mean, you were all over the country, all over the base paths. Tell me some of the highlights of this past summer and kind of where you improved your game.
Yeah, I think one of the highlights of the summer was definitely area code. I think that's where I found finally everything clicked for me as far as my approach and on the base paths, as far as just being the player I am.
I mean, I was in San Diego for that tournament, and I could have sworn you had like an 800 on base percentage. Like it
Yeah,
was,
it was fun.
you
It was
had like
fun.
7, 8 stolen bases in 4 days. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. Is running kind of your favorite thing? Is getting on base your favorite thing? Like, what do you take the most pride in?
I would say hitting first and then running because you got to hit the ball or it starts in the batter's box before you get on base. So definitely hitting first.
Okay. I want to talk about your hitting a little bit because one thing that people will immediately notice about you, and I won't shy away from it because you've brought it up in other interviews, is the fact that you're not the biggest guy in the world, but you generate tremendous bat speed. I want to know how you got to the point where you're at now, generating that kind of whip in the box.
Uh, just bat speed training. I would say loading my hands with heavy weights and then going to a lighter bat, and then always taking days in the cage. Never shying away from the workouts in the cage and never skipping a workout.
How much quicker can you get in terms of the bat speed?
I think I can get a lot quicker. Where I'm at right now is pretty good, but I can always be better.
Okay. Now, considering your size, considering your tool set, I gotta ask, man, who's the guy in pro ball that you see the most of you in? Who's a guy that you've looked up to?
Right now it would be Corbin Carroll.
Yeah,
I
that
think
checks
he's pretty
out.
comparison. Yeah,
Yeah. How about you get to watch any Drew Gilbert? I kind of see a little bit of Drew Gilbert in the way
yeah.
that you carry yourself. Yeah.
I've seen Drew Gilbert from his high school days to now, and just the size comparison. Yeah,
Okay. How about on the data side of things? Are you a big hit tracks, Rapsodo? Do you look at the numbers? You're just trying to find the feel middle of the barrel.
in game, I try to be more, hands on and more barrel feel guy. But off the field, I do look at numbers as far as bat speed and just getting stronger with exit velos.
Um, I gotta ask, considering your ascent here over the last 2, 3 years, you've always been a guy that's been on the map. Um, has where you're at on public boards and articles and features, does it surprise you at all, or is this just like, hey man, you put in the work, this is where you're supposed to be?
Yeah, I've definitely put in the work for it, but just to see my name out there and as high as I am right now, just the helium of everything definitely surprised me because coming from Arkansas, a small town, and just breaking my leg and then seeing it me go up as I've broken my leg, even go even higher is really surprised me.
Yeah, a lot of people might not know. Slade, you did break your leg at the end of the summer. Of course, it was in like a pickle, like a rundown. It
Yeah,
would happen on the bases. Um, Is that the most adversity that you faced, and kind of how did you deal with that emotionally and mentally?
Yeah, it definitely was the biggest adversity I've ever gone through. Just taking it day by day and knowing that I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be better than I was, and just having that mindset of, it's something to overcome, and I will get through it.
Okay, so now you committed to Ole Miss. I want to hear all about that experience. When did your recruitment start with Ole Miss, and what drew you to that school?
Yeah, I committed before I even played a baseball game of high school baseball, so it was definitely something to do going into my first high school baseball game.
Hmm.
But yeah, the recruiting process was awesome and started at a young age. But they came along after a few schools. But as I got to talking to them and the coaching staff, I've played in Mississippi growing up all my life, over in South Haven, Mississippi, and Oxford, Mississippi, just playing tournaments, and just the environment of Swayze and the beer showers and the connection with the coaches is just amazing. So I didn't think anything of it other
Yeah.
than Ole Miss.
I mean, one of the best, probably top three, top five college baseball culture stadiums in the country. I mean, Oxford is rock solid. So what does this winter look like for you? Because last time you and I spoke, you said this was about right about now was when you were expected to be back to 100%. What's your training regimen look like this winter? How you looking to get better?
Definitely, doing more mobility things with my ankle now, and just stretching a lot more, doing a lot of yoga, and putting on pounds. I think I've gained about 15 pounds since surgery. So, and just running with that, you saw where I had a 6'5", and that was running with, I think I'm 183 right now compared to 175 when I was.
Hmm.
So just being at the same speed or with this mass is pretty outstanding, I would think.
So do you think you can break 6'5"? I mean, it sounds like you're still kind of right on the horizon of getting that leg back to 100%. You think there's still another gear?
Oh, there's definitely another gear. I would just think because that was my first actual full 60 yards back, and I just have to get more in shape. My start's probably the best it's ever been right now, so I just think it just getting more length into it.
What do you got for goals this spring? Because you've already accomplished so much in multiple sports, but now you're I believe you're baseball only now. What goals you got for the spring?
To win a state championship. We've been in the finals every year and just make it back there and go out on a strong note. And I would say for my goals as far as me would be win Gatorade Player of the Year again and uh, be a good leader and just be consistent with everything.
Slade, I'm maybe going to surprise you a little bit with this question, but I talked to obviously a lot of your peers floating around the country, taking in high school ball. I would say you're probably on the Mount Rushmore for like the most respected guys on the showcase circuit, like among the other high school kids. Like they respect the hell out of how gritty you are. Um, is that something that comes naturally to you, or do you put effort into making sure that you're a voice on the field?
I think it's a little bit of both. I've always been like a balls to the wall guy, I would say. Uh, just growing up, I've always wanted to be around the ball and just go everywhere at once. But it does take some effort because you never know who's watching. I like to say you never know who's watching, and just putting effort into other guys. Getting the other guys where I'm at too.
I love that. I love that. So this upcoming year, you've obviously got a big spring ahead of you, and Ole Miss obviously sits there in your future, but the MLB draft is also a potential possibility, especially with your name seemingly getting some helium as of late. How are you preparing yourself for kind of that experience? Are you just kind of taking it day by day?
I'm definitely taking it day by day because I still have a lot of work to do before I get to the draft or to college. So there's definitely more things to work on right now before I even step foot into those kind of circumstances.
No doubt about it. All right, I'm gonna hit you with two more questions. Get you out here, quick hitters. You already know what's coming. I know you've seen some of these episodes. Slade. So let's say you play for another 20 years. What is the one and only walk-up song that you're gonna use for the next 20 years?
That's funny you say that. I've used the same walk up song in high school for the past 3 years. I'm going to use it again. It's Pose by Yo Gotti featuring Lil Uzi Vert.
There's so much attitude in that song. Like that is very much Slade Caldwell in his finest. Um, Last question, man. Traveled all over the country this summer. You played with a lot of dudes. Who's the one guy that you played with? No chance you're letting him date your sister.
Date my sister.
Yes, sir.
Mm, Man, let me think real quick. Let me think. Probably Kate Aaron Beatty.
Oh, we're the strong arm catcher. That's the second week in a row I've gotten a catcher. Connor Griffin said Berkeley Babies. What's going on with these catchers, man?
Yeah,
So
I
what
love
is
Kate.
it?
I let date my sister.
No shot. Okay. All right. Slade Caldwell, big fan of yours, big fan of your game. Never stop hustling. Excited to see what the spring brings to your game. I'm excited that you're back to 100%. Let's see you go out and win another state title and then have the chips fall where they may in July. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.